Oh. 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 Wait, what? 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 Oh. What? Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. 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 I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. Oh.
Is it working now? Hey, alright, it's working now. Yeah, that was an ordeal. Just switching scenes. I probably need to update OBS. That was a little weird. Little hiccup. Little hiccup, hiccup, hiccup. Little hiccup, hiccup, hiccup. Hey, Susie. Thanks for the raid, JJ Stoner. Alright. We're going to get back to what we were watching yesterday. I think it was, we left off on ramen. We're going to do ramen. Yummy. Yummy ram. Oh, I forgot to mention, I made a mistake yesterday. While I was showing off Jessica Rabbit's dress, I realized, hey, those titties seem a little small. And so I was looking at the pieces I was working on yesterday, and it became pretty clear that I did not, because I oversized all of these pieces about 25%. You can already see that's not gonna fit. That wasn't gonna fit. Although I love when tits overflow. It's just not gonna work. Overflowing tits is choice. But I had to reprint this one, and I had to do it in a different order because if you look closely, there's a little bit of fuck up here and here, right under on the under boob where the sweat usually hangs out. Under boob sweat, you ladies confirm in chat. That's where it hangs out, right about there. And I like wet. I like big wet tits. But not sweaty. Sweaty, stinky boob sweat is, yeah, exactly, Renee, not enough boob. And this was a problem. This was a this is a problem. There's cum crusties on it, is what Susie said. Yeah. Be a gentleman. You know, put it in her hair. You know, where she could wash it out easily. Not on the dress. Let's not be a gentleman. Anyway, so that's going in the trash. I took all night. I reprinted this, and I had to print it on a sideways. I had to cut it, and I have a little peg so that I can do the same thing I did with the tits and the where is it? There it is. There's where I gotta dig that out. So anyway, that was a little Goofy done goofed. So Goofy fixed it. These I think are ready to put together. I'll do a little bit of test fitting and this and that, but we'll probably be gluing that together. All right. Jameson prefers the underboob sweat. Okay, I mean, like to see homos naked. That's cool, man. Now, homo, will you make it? Okay. I think I set this up enough. Man, it's always the tits that bring in the numbers. We got 26 watching. Check them out, guys. They're pretty nice, huh? More viewers. I got a playlist on YouTube designed just around, girls modeling and being whores and shaking their ass. So I think after I'm done with the normie content up here, I think I'll probably be showing off that playlist. The DGen playlist. I'm doing really good. Holy shit. Who retweeted me? Well, I mean, JJ also rated me, so there's that. Big B, thanks for the retweet. I appreciate that. All right. Who's ready to get into the content? I know I am. All right. Yeah, I got the stoner bump. So, titties in chat, because titties are awesome. I mean, I may have given up, the DGen lifestyle, but, Oh, speaking of thumbs up, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. It's actually, if you look at it over here, it actually looks like that. So, looks like that. It's a button. It looked like that. Press that button. Look good. And then, you know what you can do? Is if you don't follow me on Twitter, usually most of you do, but you can go ahead and share that link. If you can't donate, that's fine. Just hang around. Put me up on a muted tab if you're working, just so I can get the numbers. That'd be really cool. Share the link, this and that. If you can afford it, I'm gonna say the same spiel over and over again. Look, because of Biden, the shit is fucked. And that shit last night was hilarious. Oh my God. But anyway, if you can, you do a Rumble rant. That's cool. I prefer the link in the description, the Ko-fi, however they want to call it. I don't care what they call it. I prefer that link because they only take $5 a month. And that's just it's just processing fees. I gotta give it up to Big B Trucker. Oh, I didn't play your sound drop. Loaded up and trucker. Oh, did I double up on that audio? Sorry. But anyway. Yep, so I shilled. I did enough shilling. Let's go on to the content. We're 10 minutes in. We gotta start this. So yesterday we left off with a ramen. Yummy ramen. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to double up on that. Usually I have the audio muted and it comes in double channel for you guys. It's kind of weird. All right.
A pack of instant noodles is one of the cheapest non-perishable foods you can buy. So how did the humble instant noodle become a billion-dollar industry?
Momofuku Ando was an entrepreneur with a wild resume. Everything from selling textiles to charcoal, and he even started a school at one point. Now, Ando's story has admittedly gotten a bit mythical over time. There's even this adorable children's book written about him, and an incredible animated short film about his origins. It's called Samurai Noodles, and it's probably the coolest hour story page a company can have. And I think you can see the resemblance. But anyway, to really understand how that giant box of ramen ended up in your grocery store, we have to go back to 1940s Japan.
Thank you for the retweet.
After World War II,
James
Japan faced
Campisi.
widespread famine and had its worst
retweet.
harvest season in decades. A Nissan spokesperson would later state that at the time, people were starving and queuing for noodles at street stalls. Because of strict rationing laws and a ban on selling street food, thousands of unsanctioned open-air markets started to pop up. It's estimated that factory workers got more than half of their vegetables on the black market. At the time, Japan relied heavily on the wheat provided by the US during its occupation. Ramen and gyoza, both made from surplus wheat flour, were considered stamina food because they were high in calories and kept you full. But at the time, there was a big push to use the US provided wheat to make bread. Ando, as inquisitive as ever,
yes,
wanted to know why the
Campo is
government
James
wasn't
Campisi,
using more of that wheat flour to make noodles, which were much more common in Japan. He said, if you change your diet, you are in effect throwing away your traditions and cultural heritage. Ando thought that ramen that was more accessible and easier to prepare could be a solution to Japan's hunger problem. But in response, he was basically told, if you think it's a good idea, then do it yourself. So he did. But this was no easy task. Ando had basically no noodle making experience. And remember that checklist?
No.
He had to figure out how to bring great flavor and texture to instant food. After a year of experimenting, he finally had his breakthrough. According to my favorite anime, Samurai Noodles, the development process looked a little bit like this, which is pretty epic. Basically, after watching his wife make tempura, he realized that frying the noodles was key. Frying extracted their moisture, so they could be stored for long periods of time and then rehydrated with hot water. That's how we got this iconic brick of noodles.
What you'll love is that you can serve your family in 3 minutes and for just pennies.
What I find so interesting about Ando's invention was that it wasn't an accidental breakthrough. He thought instant noodles would be a success, and he worked for a year to find the solution. Looking back, he said the experience of hardship and suffering strengthened me to succeed in a critical time. In 1958, Ando released chicken ramen and changed his company's name to Nissan, which you probably recognize. Ando played a direct role in trying to sell instant ramen, reportedly setting up a sales booth in Tokyo to give customers a chance to try the new product.
It's a Mario.
At first, it actually cost more than 5 times the price of fresh noodles, but the taste and convenience made it a huge hit. It was nicknamed Magic Ramen because it was ready to eat in just a few minutes. It was now over a decade since the end of World War II. Japan's economy had started to improve, there was a surplus of wheat flour, and people were going back to working long hours. These were the perfect circumstances for instant ramen to succeed. Chicken ramen sold 13 million packages in its first year, and sales in Japan skyrocketed, growing by billions in just a decade. As its popularity grew, dozens of companies started manufacturing instant noodles. In 1968, instant ramen was estimated to hit 3.5 billion servings. But Ando wasn't done inventing. At age 61, it was time to make instant noodles even more instant. Nissin introduced cup noodles in 1971, and like chicken ramen, it was a huge hit. In fact, it was so popular that Nissin couldn't meet demand, even though they were making 650,000 cups a day.
Jesus.
You can see how noodles in a cup completely overtakes packaged noodle sales by 1989. Today, cup noodle sales are more than double packaged noodle sales in Japan.
かかってきなさい。日清カップヌードル。
And Ando was still involved with the company. In 1998, the Japan Times wrote that even as he celebrates his 88th birthday this year, Ando is still keen to invent new variations on his instant noodles. Today, hundreds of instant noodle flavors are introduced in Japan every year.
What the fuck?
But
It was on
wasn't just
the
a hit in
fucking
Japan.
ceiling. Did you
China
see
is
that?
currently the largest market, eating over 40 billion servings a year. But South Korea leads in per capita consumption, with a staggering 75 servings per year. That's a lot of instant ramen. Here in the US, the original Nissin Top Ramen was introduced in 1972.
Most people are like Corey. They love eating all those noodles and top ramen.
6 years later, the Washington Post wrote, "Now the noodles are threatening to replace TV sets as Japan's hottest export to this country." Ando was even awarded the Key to the City in LA. And in 1989, the New York Times wrote, "The growing US appetite for Asian-style ramen can no longer be ignored." It became a fixture in US supermarkets, despite being a new type of food for a lot of Americans. Today, instant ramen consumption in the US is over 4.5 billion servings per year, and over 100 billion servings globally. And in case you were wondering, Ando finally retired at age 95. Nissin, the company Ando founded, reported over 450 billion yen in revenue in 2019, or about $4.3 billion. It's now led by Ando's son, Koki. But despite its commercial success, Ando didn't forget his original goal to help end hunger. In 1997, Ando helped start what's now called the World Instant Noodles Association. Its purpose is to improve the instant noodle industry and provide emergency food aid. Since its founding, the organization has helped donate hundreds of thousands of instant noodle servings. Ando once said, "It is never too late to do anything in life. You can have a new beginning even at the age of 50 or 60. And he really lived his life with that mindset. Whether or not you believe every detail of the samurai noodle story, instant ramen completely changed the way that people ate a centuries-old food.
Most of our smartphones have one thing in common: lithium batteries.
I'm sorry,
We went to South
Renee.
America to learn how mines power an industry worth tens of
Look,
billions of dollars.
I'm just going off of the,
The lithium here in Chile is locked away in underground salt water, or brine. Billions of gallons are pumped to the surface every year, where it is left to evaporate and concentrate. Mining companies also use millions of gallons of fresh water, and in one of the driest places on Earth, locals are scared of what that will
But
do
I know
to
what you're
their
talking about,
already
Renee, because I recently started a diet, and I don't know why I've been. I mean, I did the bread and circus stream the other day, and that was, oh my god, that was tough to get through. I mean, not just the guy that was doing the lecture. I really hated that guy, but yeah.
Yes, water supplies. And they worry they won't get their fair share of the white gold rush unfolding in their own backyard.
Que no nos estén incitando, porque nosotros también sabemos cuándo tenemos que levantarnos.
Where were they again?
Mining the
Bolivia?
lithium triangle looks inevitable in the rush towards an all-electric future. But what is the true cost? Jose Morales has lived near Bolivia's salt flats his entire life.
Yeah, Bolivia.
He makes a living growing quinoa and selling wool from his llamas.
Quinoa Noah?
There is very little rainfall, and a nearby river that used to provide water is all but dried up. So Jose now pumps groundwater from wells.
y año tras año sigue bajando el nivel. Antes aquí las familias convivían con el ganado sobre todo. Como había sequía, no había pasto, el agua se ha secado y pues han preferido migrar por fuentes de trabajo.
In early 2023, the Bolivian government granted a mining license here that would massively scale up lithium extraction.
Oh no, Cat, I saw you. You were
People
early.
like Jose
You
are
were way
afraid
early,
that's just going
Cat.
to make the drought
You're fine.
worse.
Estas plantas consumen buena cantidad de agua. ¿Y de dónde va a venir esas aguas?
We'll come back to Bolivia, but for now, neighboring Chile might hold some answers.
You probably had me on,
These are the Atacama Salt
On
Flats,
notification.
a natural wonder, one of the driest places on Earth, and a vast source of lithium. The bright squares are pools of brine, where the water is left to evaporate and leave behind a mix of salts and minerals. The more yellow the pond, the higher the concentration.
Al principio veíamos color de turquesa, donde tenían poco porcentaje de litio. Acá ya tienen un gran porcentaje de litio, ya sea.
It can take more than 1,000 gallons of brine to produce enough lithium for just one electric car battery. Two companies control the right to operate here, American Albemarle and Chilean SQM. In 2021, Chile exported almost $1 billion worth of lithium carbonate, and satellite imagery shows just how that has transformed the landscape.
sorry, this is
It can
my
take around
Dremel.
18 months for the brine to move through the series of ponds. The concentrated lithium brine is then processed into lithium carbonate, which is then taken to another factory near the coast where it is purified into battery-grade lithium. The two companies suck out enough brine to fill an Olympic swimming pool every 20 minutes. They also draw 32 gallons per second of fresh water from underground aquifers for use
okay.
in the processing factories. That would fill an Olympic-sized pool in roughly 5 hours. It's no surprise that water usage is such a sensitive issue in one of the driest regions on Earth. Central Chile has experienced a mega drought since 2010, the region's longest on record.
Came out nice.
Brine is far denser than freshwater, and the two rarely mix, but regulators worry that pumping so much brine too fast will increase the risk of freshwater contamination. And lithium isn't the only thirsty industry here. Since the 1980s, copper mines have been responsible for around half of the region's freshwater use. The Chilean government blamed the copper and lithium industries for a 25-centimetre drop in the height of the water table. The copper mines plan to switch to desalinated water by 2030.
That's a good one,
Jorge
Big B.
Munoz Coca is concerned about the damage this use of fresh water could be doing to the environment.
La minería siempre trata de decir que ellos tienen sustentabilidad, que están mejorando siempre, una mejora constante. Y la verdad es que nosotros no podemos contratar esa información.
He is part of the Atacameño indigenous community and lives in San Pedro with his 3 children. In 2015, he founded an activist collective to educate people about lithium mining.
Oh,
La verdad que no sabíamos mucho de la minería del
Activists.
litio en un momento que pensábamos que el litio se extraía de roca, tal como la minería
listen
del
for these
cobre.
words, guys. These words like activism, you know, a lot of you're already way ahead of me on this one, but that's like a key word that's a simile of fucking communism, eco-terrorism and shit.
Jorge says locals lost faith in the mining
Or,
industry a
excuse me,
long time
economic
ago.
terrorism, not eco-terrorism.
In the 1990s, the Chilean
Well, I mean,
government agreed
you
to
know, it
hand
could be that too.
ancestral lands back to indigenous communities, including the Atacama lithium mines. Some land was transferred, but crucially not the mines. Neither of the two lithium companies in Chile consulted with locals before starting their operations. At the time, they didn't need to. But in 2008, Chile's
Oh, that
government
looks
agreed
way
to
better.
involve indigenous people in any decision
I
that
still
could
have to
affect them
clean up
directly.
some of that.
Still, it would take another 8 years for one of the companies, Albemarle, to begin giving over 3.5% of its profits. That same year, SQM was sued for extracting
Okay, you know what?
more
I'm on that.
brine
I'm on the
than
side of
allowed.
that activist guy.
SQM recently committed to reduce brine and
Holy
freshwater use
shit.
and monitor their environmental impacts. Jorge feels there has never been real transparency.
No es una
Hell yeah,
relacionamiento comunitario real en donde tengamos a alguien de la minería, normalmente para poder decir nuestros pesares, incluso nuestras quejas hacia la minera.
And his community's concerns almost always come back to water.
Tenemos una relación muy significativa con el agua. Eso es lamentable que exista en esta área tanta explotación, siendo que para nosotros esta sería un área de confluencia y de tranquilidad.
I haven't been reading this guy. Yo, those flat planes would probably be sick for flying kites and shit.
But demand for lithium shows no signs of slowing down. It is the ideal metal for batteries because it is extremely light and stores energy very efficiently compared to traditional batteries. It would take around 4 lead-acid car batteries to get the same amount of energy as one lithium battery of the same size. This makes them perfect for maximizing power without adding much weight or taking up too much space. A booming electric vehicle industry has roughly tripled lithium prices in the last 3 years, while companies scramble to ramp up production. So now all eyes are on Bolivia and its wealth of white gold. At more than 4,000 square miles, the Uyuni salt flat is over double the size of the Grand Canyon and clearly visible from space. More than 90,000 visitors come from all over the world each year to photograph the shimmering sea of salt. Antonio Cabrera moved here back in 2009. That was when Bolivia announced it would invest $900 million in the lithium industry.
Porque yo he migrado de mi comunidad porque mis hijos querían que estudien, no quiero que estén como yo.
Antonia had high hopes that would bring jobs and prosperity.
Looking pretty good.
Hemos venido con
I mean, I still have
todos
some fitment
alegres que
issues
vamos
over
a
here.
trabajar en limpio todos, pero no había sido eso.
A state-controlled company built a small pilot plant, which opened in 2013,
Jessica,
but
you're
Bolivia lacked
coming
the
together
technical
nice.
know-how to scale up. Almost a decade later, the pilot plant was only producing a few hundred tons of lithium carbonate per year, a tiny fraction
Camera's a
of
little
Chile's
further away.
exports. For Antonia, the industry's failure to take off meant the promises of work came to nothing, and 5 of her 6 children left to find jobs in other cities.
Got a little bit of a
Today
fitment
she lives
issue
with
on
her
the
daughter
right
and
tit
grandson.
here.
She says even the local school only has 1 teacher left. To make things worse, the pandemic hit the tourism industry hard.
Pocos turistas llegan, entonces por eso no hay mucho trabajo, no hay mucha venta también.
Adon Morales is also disillusioned after years of high hopes for Bolivia's lithium industry. He's an active leader for his community and lives 60 miles from the pilot plant with his daughter.
En la casa no debe haber agua.
Vamos a buscar.
These poor people.
He worked for the lithium company as community
They're just trying to
liaison
fight
back
for
in
fucking
2019.
water. You know
He
what
was
I mean?
supposed to help recruit workers locally.
Here I am, I'm all fucking worried about
But in the end,
the
he
size of
says
her
most
tits.
workers were brought
You
in
know,
from
and they're
Bolivia's
just
large
like,
cities
I'm
instead.
thirsty.
Now, with the Chinese and Russian companies moving in, he's worried about his precious water supply.
Hay municipios que realmente para que funcione la planta van a tener que dar hasta agua, van a tener que quedarse sus ganados ellos mismos sin agua.
He says water levels have dropped more than 2 meters over the last 2 years because of droughts.
Aquí cuando nosotros cavamos, ¿no ve? Pasamos los 5 metros. Esta agua es de lluvias. tiempo, poca agua.
Abdon is not against lithium mining. He just wants any company that comes in to extract the metal to be open and honest.
Ante todo, siempre
I'm
ese sería el
sorry.
camino. Que ellos vengan a
Did you
sincerarnos.
you want a mining company to be honest? I'm sorry, man. Do you think that's attainable? I don't think I mean we have some of the most restrictive laws against mining in the US, and we can't even get these fucking idiots to be honest about their mining practices. You can't get these companies to fucking do what they're supposed to be doing. Jesus, you got an electric bike that goes 67? Jameson, that better be kilometers per hour. Holy shit.
A decirnos, esto es lo que vamos, esto es lo que necesitamos. Porque si ustedes no nos van a dar agua, estas plantas van a ser un elefante blanco.
If you look at Bolivia's history, you can understand why local communities might be suspicious of international interest in their natural resources. Zoom out and you can see how, for more than 500 years, silver mining has left its scars on the landscape.
Oh man,
It was the Spanish conquistadors of the 16th century who laid claim to what's now known to be the largest global silver deposit.
Yeah, seriously. About that silver mining stuff that happened in Bolivia, I remember. Jesus, Jameson, that's seriously too fast for a fucking bike. But I remember playing. What was that Tom Clancy game? Ghost Recon Wildlands, and it took place in Bolivia, and it was about how a cartel pretty much took over the entire country and turned it into a big cocaine exporter. One of the side stories was, you had to go into these old silver mines that were pockmarked all across. I remember Ghost Recon Wildlands had yeah, thanks Pat. Had like this huge map, and in almost every single one of the mountains there was a silver mine, and it was insane. You had to go in there and you had to kill all the fucking Santa Blanca cartel members. I'm surprised I still remember the fictional cartel. Yeah. Yeah, Bolivia has a lot of silver mines, and they were straight up fucked. They were fucked over for years and years, hundreds of years. Yeah, Tweety logic, yeah. And Russia doesn't care. Russia doesn't care. China doesn't care. They're not going to give a shit about your community. They're gonna take all that lithium, just like how they took all the silver, and they're going to fuck you over for it.
An estimated 8 million enslaved miners lost their lives in the mines.
Jesus.
Mercury, which was used to refine the silver, polluted streams and poisoned local ecosystems. These ancient mines have created untold wealth, yet the region of Potosi remains the poorest in Bolivia. The government is nonetheless optimistic for the next chapter of its lithium story. Almost $3 billion of investment from Chinese and Russian companies will build an array of new lithium plants, capable of processing an estimated 100,000 metric tons of lithium carbonate each year. The Bolivian government says that it will bring infrastructure and employment, but with the touted rewards come risks.
China and Russia, for being such yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks, LT. But for China and Russia to be all like, yeah, we're so communistic, communism and shit. They it's kind of bullshit. They're all about, they're all about that bullshit too. They're all about the fucking capitalism fucking over the local ecosystem. They're all about that shit too. What is this link? Electric unicycle races. Holy shit. 70 miles per hour. God damn. Thanks, Susie. I don't need a reminder that far out. Alright.
On a relatively new technology. It's called DLE, or direct lithium extraction. Instead of pumping brine to the surface and waiting for the water to evaporate, this method separates out the lithium using a range of filtration techniques. It can take only a few hours, but it's
Jameson. I
unclear
want to blow
how
my wad
water
too soon.
or energy intensive the process will be. There are small operations testing this method in the US and Argentina, but it hasn't yet been proven to work at scale.
Everybody's calling
for many
for
Bolivians,
it.
this uncertainty breeds concern.
Sell us shit!
We don't know what this agreement says. This agreement with the consortium, the Chinese consortium says, and this is.
I don't know if did Frozen retweet me out? Is that why I got enough people in here? Oh, Susie retweeted me. That's who it is.
But we have no
Thank you,
access
Susie.
to this agreement. The agreement is closed.
Alright, you guys want some shit?
Just on the outskirts of Uyuni lies a stark reminder of what.
Hold on real quick. Alright, I'm looking. Look, the fucking the number keeps going up. But are you like I really don't want to fuck up my ad read. Or you guys, you know what you could do is you can always donate. Link in the description to my coffee page. By all means, if you feel like I deserve it, if you feel like I'm worth it, go ahead and hit that coffee link. Or if you already signed up here on Rumble, go ahead and hit that Rumble rant. I appreciate it. I am taking a look at these campaigns, though. Alright, I got one. Make sure to download the Rumble app. Once you download it, search for my channel. Follow the channel directly on the app. This will make sure that you get a notification every time I go live. Click the link in the description or pinned live chat to download the Rumble app on your phone. It's free. If you prefer to watch me on the big screen, it's available for Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, Roku, LG, and Samsung TVs. All you need to do is search for Rumble. Thank you, Rumble. All right. Hey, Jameson Campo. For $5, some fiat, good sir. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Coffee link in the description. Rumble rants are open. Let's get back to the content, yeah?
Can happen if grand mining projects go wrong. The carcasses of over 100 trains lie in the sun, rusting away, some dating back to the early 20th century. The town was once a transport hub, linking the Pacific coast with tin and silver mines of the high plains of the Andes.
Get away from my window.
The industry and the local economy collapsed after the Second World War, and the trains were left to rot.
Oh, that was in the that was in Ghost Recon Wildlands. I remember that.
To promise a better future than that for local communities and the environment, if it is to overcome doubts that it is anything
crazy,
more
that game.
than a mirage.
Because that game accurately depicted Bolivia. I mean, it wasn't I don't think it was a direct one-to-one representation, but it was pretty good. From everything that I've seen, I've never been, obviously. I think it was someone had mentioned it in chat that they went, and that compared to Peru, it was like night and day. But yeah, I remember Ghost Recon Wildlands was like, I remember looking up, there was somebody who was looking up pictures of these sites that were showcased in the game. The one site where Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid had been supposedly had died at this one spot. They took like pictures of this place, and it's all over the internet, and you could go back and forth between the game and the pictures, and it was like a direct copy of these historical sites. Anyway, sorry, I see a little string. I'm gonna get it. All right. Oh, I remember watching this content on YouTube too.
There are almost double as many cell phones in the world as there are people. It's no surprise the phone repair business itself is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
That's all, like,
hello, I'm
just
Julius,
skin.
And I'm the owner of Phone Fix Craft. So today I'm gonna show you how to clean and repair a damaged iPhone. My job is actually phone repairs, including micro soldering and data recovery, stuff like that. And the cleaning is just, it's not that it's a huge part of our business. It's just fixed phones that we see that they need some cleaning.
Ew.
So the first step, you have to remove those two bottom screws, which every iPhone has. We open up the screen. The phone had a broken screen, and the owner of the phone used it for a good while with that broken screen, so that all the internals of the phone were exposed to whatever was in customers' pockets. So
shit ton of lint.
So we try to remove every
lint and hair
from the
Cheeto dust phone. And I'm sorry if this is like freaking some of you. I dropped viewers.
I would use compressed air like a gun. The dirtiest parts would be the charging port on all kinds of phones, not only iPhones. But actually, it doesn't look dirty if you just look at it with naked eye. And the microscope I have here, it's my most loved tool. It's gonna come with me when I die. I would just clean every phone, every speaker, every earpiece, and every charging port under this microscope. This tool we use for charging port cleaning is something similar to a metal toothpick. It's just a little bit thinner and then sharper. So now I'm going to clean years worth of pocket lint and dust from the charging port that experiencing charging issues.
I mean, he does a really good job.
Filled with the like pocket lint from your jeans, and then whatever is in your pockets really. If you had a cookie there,
That's a good idea, Big B.
have some
That's a great
crumbs or
idea. I think I'm
something
gonna
like
do the
that. You
same.
can see, what color threads, trousers or pants. I'm not sure in the United States the trousers or pants. So what you see here is actually the contents of the charging port of what we usually would find there. So it's just a pocket lint, really. Pocket lint and dust. I would use the same tool that I use for cleaning charging ports to clean the really heavy clogged speakers as well.
Sorry, I'm doing my own little thing here.
We do get phones that are really dirty and messed up, but for us it's just normal, you know. Medics are not surprised by injuries or something like that. It's their job.
That's all skin.
So for us
That's all
it's,
dead skin.
Yeah. So on this phone, the battery has already started to swell, and customer agreed to get it replaced. We removed the battery. We attached the new pull tabs to a new battery.
Hey, FOMO.
Imagine advocating.
Oh, no,
Loser
I
energy
fucked it up.
ever.
Fucked it up. Hold up. No, stop. Stop. Fucked it up.
Imagine advocating to make the government bigger. Like that's the biggest loser energy ever.
There we go.
Just need to apply a new display adhesive before putting everything back together. So once the screen is pressed back into the frame, we just need to put the last two screws in, and it's ready to be cleaned before giving it back to the customer. You just have to solve a puzzle, you know, to get the thing working, and this is especially rewarding if some few other shops deemed it unfixable, and then it comes to you and you accept the challenge and you actually get that fixed. It's nice. That's what I really love.
Some pool repairs can cost homeowners as much as $20,000. We followed a professional pool cleaner to get a messy look inside the billion-dollar industry.
All right, I can't do this one. I'm sorry. I'm skipping. Can't do that one. Not gonna do that one. Sorry.
We do have to do is check.
Okay, look at that. Clean. It's clean, guys. It's clean.
When you come to open it in summer, it's going to be nice and clear still.
What people call styrofoam is often expanded polystyrene foam, and we make billions of dollars worth of it every year.
Gross.
Many think it can't be recycled, but it can. And that's likely because less than 1% of it gets recycled, even though we make enough to fill more than 700 Empire State Buildings every year. And now one company has found a way to turn all this trash into treasure, or rather, photo frames.
Well,
but why aren't more
you
companies
guys,
doing
if
this?
you like that stuff,
We went
you
to
can
Mexico
watch
City to
that on
find
your
out.
fucking own.
New materials, countless in their numbers and variety, have been created.
Styrofoam is actually a brand developed by the Dow Chemical Company and now owned by DuPont. It only refers to a kind of plastic used in
they're a great
construction and
company.
insulation. There's actually no such thing as a styrofoam cup. Instead, it's expanded polystyrene foam that is a kind of plastic scientists first created in the 1940s. Today, it's estimated that this kind of foam takes up about 30% of the world's landfills. A company called Renueva has found a way to make money recycling this cheap product. Corporations pay Renueva to handle their polystyrene waste, and regular people can drop off their own at the company's facility. It also hosts collection efforts like this one at a local university. All told, Hector and his team handle 16 metric tons of plastic per week.
Creo que el mayor reto fue que no había mucha información al respecto. De hecho, no podías encontrar un libro que dijera libro para fabricar máquinas de reciclaje de poliestireno. Y el mayor reto fue encontrar el proceso que nos permitiera que todo fuera lo mismo, estandarizarlo, ¿no?
Workers first grind the material to make it easier to manage. Then they apply heat and pressure in a process called densification, which squeezes out excess air, leaving reusable plastic behind.
That's cool, Renee.
In terms
I would
of
much
size,
rather
the
you do
ratio
that.
of pre-densified foam to post.
If you guys ever feel like you need to go do something, by all means, just, mute the stream. Keep me on in the background. I'm cool with it. It's not like we're, I'm not doing breaking news right now because my entire 2 screens are just the stream. I'm looking at the studio, the Rumble studio, and I'm looking at this content over here. I'm not breaking news here, I'm not doing anything that's, oh my god, shocking and crazy. This is an autism stream. And tits. Tits! You know what I'm saying? Fucking tits. You can silence this stream. It's okay. I'd much rather you do that. In fact, put me on in a muted tab on if you're on your phone and your computer, put me on in a muted tab. And then, minimize the tab, minimize that window. Give me an extra couple views. You said breaking news and no drop. I don't have a drop for breaking news. Anyway.
Densified foam is about 90 to 1.
Yeah, Renee, don't feel bad
the machine
about
heats the material and molds it into these spaghetti-looking strips.
Accidentally sitting in silence. Don't worry about it.
The company uses a chemical that's a bit like antifreeze to cool the strips, and finally a machine dices them into rice-sized pellets. Renueva sells these pellets to companies like Marcos y Marcos, which turns them into frames. The process is actually pretty similar to Renueva's. You heat the pellets, mold them, and then assemble and decorate the frames accordingly.
Hay marcos que requieres 45 vasitos de unicel para hacer un marco tamaño carta. Entonces, realmente se aprovecha bastante bien.
This factory can process 6 tons of raw material per day and has actually recycled some of its own old frames. Different companies use Renueva's pellets to make heels for shoes and to make more foam. Renueva is working on making plates and cutlery, but first it needs to make sure the recycled plastic is safe for food. That's because polystyrene foam could pose some health risks. Scientists have found that foam containers are generally safe to eat off of, but some chemicals can transfer into your food or drink, and they can be harmful over a long period of time.
Skirt! Carambabo. For $20. Look at that. Check out the big dick on CAD. Says, get some filament. I will Ko-Fi next time. Ko-Fi, whatever. I'm never going to say it correctly. I'm never going to say coffee, even though that's the whole shtick to the site. I read it, I say Ko-Fi. Anyway. But thank you again. Everybody take a look at the massive hog on CAD. Look at that. $20 in chat. I'm going to be able to oh, by the way, thank you again, CAD, because I think you put me over my my $50 Rumble limit to pull money out. Yeah, Forest Mommy says, nice hog. She doesn't say that to everyone. She says that to everyone. But she doesn't say that to everyone. Absolutely every single person, everybody gets a nice hog from Forest Mommy. You're in an exclusive club. Literally everybody gets a nice hog from FOMO. Big B triumphant.
And breathing in foam particulates is dangerous. The International Agency for Research on Cancer says one of the main components of polystyrene is a probable carcinogen, though the EPA hasn't classified it as such. Hector and his team are realistic. They know this kind of plastic isn't going anywhere soon.
You get a nice hog. You get a nice hog. Everybody gets a nice hog.
So their solution to waste relies on a circular economy. Reduce trash by reusing it.
Problemática con muchos plásticos es la falta de unión de eslabones entre fabricantes, distribuidores, usuarios y recicladores.
Oh, wait, Kat, I'm most likely I'm gonna need some more purple filament. So it's kind of funny that your chat, your Rumble rant here is purple because I'm gonna get purple. That's pretty interesting. Gonna get some purple filament because I'm running out on that.
Most recycling facilities don't handle polystyrene foam, and as a result, many people simply throw the product away. Renueva has outreach programs to let people know the product can be recycled.
Cómo los involucramos a través de pláticas, a través de capacitaciones, a través de educación ambiental y empezamos a ir a escuelas, a dar conferencias.
Sausage.
The company says that it now recycles 5% of the polystyrene foam used in Mexico City. But we were unable to independently verify that fact.
Pues lo que queremos es que la gente esté educada para que todos sepan que el material se recicla y más que eso, que todos tengan esta conciencia de que si lo utilizas, tienes que hacerte cargo de lo que utilizas.
Ma'am, how old are you?
Renueva has recycled 1,200
Braces?
metric tons of foam since its founding in 2014, a small fraction of the amount produced worldwide every year. That helps explain why everyone isn't copying the Renueva model. Most polystyrene products are cheap, in part
Well,
because
good
more
for
than
her. She's
90%
getting her
of them
teeth
is just
fixed.
air. That makes them very light, but also means you need a lot to make recycling profitable. They're also often covered in food waste and can break apart really easily, which makes them tough to process. There are a few similar facilities that run on the Renueva model, like this one in China. Or the Canadian company StyroGo, which uses mobile trucks to densify polystyrene foam on site. But many people around the world are pushing to simply end the use of foam, rather than figure out how to recycle it. The European Union, China, Costa Rica, and US states like New York and Colorado have all announced or implemented bans on single-use plastics like polystyrene foam.
The future of foam is going to be fungus grown, single use, all the single use shit is going to be grown from a fungus. I wish I had that video, but I didn't download that one. I watched a video on that. It wasn't recently. It was actually something like a month ago or 2 months ago. 1/2 hour, 2/2 hour. 1 month ago, 2 months ago. So it's a byproduct of the fungus. It's not the actual fungus, but the mycelium is cultivated and will be used in order to and pressed into a mold or grown in a mold, and it will make those single use styrofoam stuff completely obsolete, and it's also a lot cheaper, and it'll be very easy to set up a new company in like another localized factory in order to make the local needs of the styrofoam shit that whatever the fuck. Mycology talk, yeah. I'm just a nerd. I know a little bit about everything.
Mexico City banned single-use plastic starting in 2021.
So a lot of
that
those things
doesn't include polystyrene foam.
A lot of those plastics and shit like this, because plastics is, and I say this holding pieces of plastic and working with plastics, they're not the way of the future, the way that we used to think they were. Plastics are they're getting to be more of a delivery system for, in 3D printing. These plastics that we're using are being infused with glass fibers, carbon fibers, things that will essentially make the plastic stronger. And I have 2 rolls of filament that have wood fibers in them, just so that if I ever want to make something look like it's made out of wood, it will actually be made out of wood, and I can stain it, I can sand it, I can use wood filler inside of it, in order to repair it. So these plastics that we're using today they're going to change in the future, and we're going to be using less of them. It's time everybody just got on board and understood that. And I'm not some fucking hippie saying, "Oh my God, fucking plastics in our oceans and shit." But plastics in our oceans is very bad.
So the product is everywhere, and it fuels the Central de Abasto, one of Mexico City's largest wholesale food markets.
Descargamos un camión o 2 camiones al día de este producto de unicel.
Food vendors like Irene depend on that product's low price.
Los vasos, todo es mucho más económico. El biodegradable se disparan los precios.
That's why plastic bans don't always have the intended effects.
Al contrario, hay un impacto ambiental un poco grave, porque este impacto lo que hace es que la ley no va enfocada al consumo, va enfocada a la sustitución de la mercancía. Cuando tú sustituyes una mercancía es, ya no consumo plástico, pero ahora consumo papel.
The supports run Wave's main idea, that single-use plastic should be recycled. According to Hector, the solution to all the plastic sitting in our landfills is to use the plastic sitting in our landfills. And any environmental action that doesn't make economic sense isn't realistic.
No se habla de desarrollo sustentable en muchas políticas públicas o temas de este estilo porque solo se enfocan al medio ambiente, pero dejan desprotegida a la sociedad y a la economía. Y la realidad es que
that's
no
what I was
podemos
saying,
nadar
Big
contra
B.
la corriente de esa.
It'll be once that the R&D is kind of like completed on the mycelium, the fungus structure or fungus grown single-use mycelium composite. Yeah, there it is. Jameson called it mycelium composite. Is once we're working through the R&D, like literally as I'm talking about it, and as soon as it gets perfected, as soon as companies start to take it on, and the reason that they're taking it on is because governments are giving them incredible tax breaks. If you're gonna a company that's moving over from plastics to mycelium composites, you're getting enough tax breaks in order to it's extremely justifiable. And so that's what's going to happen is these companies are going to put the time and the effort into it, and then setting up another factory in another state to handle the local populace is going to be very easy. The turnover rate, if you know anything about business, turnover is a huge thing. It's a huge deal. Jameson, thank you again. Buffalo Rock, PepsiCo is already doing incredible research into mycelium composite bottles. As soon as these companies figure this out and they're able to make a profit not just from the tax break, but just from making the processes cheaper because they're using it over and over and over again, it will catch on faster than we can think. I'm no hippie, but I clean up trash from a lake I spend time at. Cool. People pass me off. They trash up. Yeah. That really sucks, man.
Salirnos de un esquema económico.
Himalayan salt doesn't actually come from the Himalayas. It's mined 186 miles away in Pakistan.
I think we saw
Thanks to its pink hue and supposed health benefits, the salt has exploded in popularity since the late 2000s. Today, it's turned into lamps, statues, and of course, table salt. But extracting the coveted salt means descending into dark caves, then blasting and carrying heavy rock.
Pretty sure
हमें प्रॉब्लम जो माइंस से आता है, जो ब्लॉक्स के जो साइजेस होते हैं, बेसिकली हमारे पास इतनी अच्छी फैसिलिटीज नहीं.
That guy's got a lisp. Did you guys want to skip this one? I mean, I got about 30 some odd people in here. Press 1 if you want to skip, that kind of thing. If you haven't seen this before, press 2. Cheers.
The night will hold us close and the stars will guide us home. I've been waiting for this moment. We're finally alone.
All right, you guys want to watch it? That's cool. All right. Well, then we're gonna watch it. Pat, you're along for the ride. We're gonna watch the Himalayan salt again.
हमारी माइंस के अंदर कि हम जो ब्लॉक्स को बहुत अच्छे तरीके से उसको एक्सट्रैक्ट कर सकें.
We went inside the mine, turning this mountain into 400,000 tons of pink salt each year. The Keoda salt mine, here in the Punjab region of Pakistan, is the second largest salt mine in the world. The pink salt comes from remnants of ancient seabeds that crystallized 600 million years ago. Legend has it, it was actually Alexander the Great's horse that first discovered these salt rocks when it stopped to take a lick. Then, under British rule, salt mining ramped up in the 1870s. Today, it's a popular tourist destination and a working mine, producing the majority of the world's pink salt.
I forgot.
All the mining starts here, at the train station. This train takes miners deep into the mountain. Here, tunnels stretch for 25 miles, and it's always 64 degrees Fahrenheit.
माइन के टोटल 17 लेवल है, इसके 70 लेवल, 5 लेवल इसके ऊपर चल रहे हैं, 6 ये ग्राउंड फ्लोर है और 11 इसके नीचे.
300 miners work these dark chambers. They've used many of the same mining tools for over a century: pickaxes, hand drills, and gunpowder.
सबसे पहले हमने ड्रिलिंग की है. ड्रिलिंग यहाँ पे हैंड आकर के जरिए करते हैं. उसके बाद हमने गन पाउडर के जरिए पैकिंग की है. सेफ्टी फ्यूज के जरिए हमने इसको इग्नाइट किया है और साल्ट की ब्लास्टिंग हो चुकी है.
खबरदार आप सब सेट पे हो जाएं. खबरदार आप सब सेट पे हो जाएं.
उसके बाद हम एक महफूज टाइम जो आधा घंटा कम से कम होना चाहिए, उसके बाद हम उसकी साल्टिंग और लोडिंग स्टार्ट करें.
Miners will spend up to 8 hours underground at a time.
ज़ाहिर बात है, हम मैन के नीचे काम करें तकरीबन 30-40 फुट है. हार्ड तो है लेकिन यहाँ पर मजदूरी अच्छी और वक्त पे मिल जाती.
Only half of the mountain salt is actually mined. The rest is used for structural support, so the chambers don't collapse. Tractors haul the mined salt out of the mountain. Each day, miners excavate over 1,000 tons of salt, or about the weight of 157 elephants. Outside, they search for blocks with the best shape and
Wait,
coloring to
hold
send to
on.
manufacturers. Once
I gotta go
the
back.
blocks are
What was
loaded up
that?
on trucks either by hand or crane.
Did she
and
just
sent
measure
across Pakistan.
salt by
Historically,
elephant?
for a century, pickaxes, hand drills, and gunpowder.
Ah, shit, I went too far.
इसके बाद हम एक महफूज टाइम जो आधा घंटे
Only half of the mountain salt is actually mined. The rest is used for structural support, so the chambers don't collapse.
Huh?
Tractors haul the mined salt out of the mountain. Each day, miners excavate over 1,000 tons of salt, or about the weight of 157 elephants.
What? Okay, bitch. Well, that reminds me of a hammock of Cheez-Its, a desk of Oreos. Like, what the? Where are you getting these units of measurements from? Why do we? I think so. The whole idea to use a different form of measurement was so that people can comprehend it better. I don't think that's an easier way of comprehension on weight. I think, when you say 1,000 tons, like that's still like significant. Yeah, Big B, I'm gonna start weighing my trailers in elephant mesh. Like, what? Yeah, we're using anything but the metric system. Fuck talking about tons. Fucking, how much is a ton? Fucking. Apparently it's fractions of elephants. Yeah, exactly, Pat. A car. You could. Why wouldn't she just say like, oh, it's so many fucking cars? I was in the middle of fixing this shit, and I heard that shit, and I'm like, I gotta stop, everything stop. What the fuck was that? Jesus. Oh, now I get the highest number of views. Nuh-uh, Big B. Did you just figure the shit out right now? Big B just said 254.7 elephants, bro. Is that how much your trailer is right now? I gotta know. Oh my god. Seriously, what the fuck is up with these people? This is supposed to be like Business Insider. It's supposed to be like it's Business Insider. Jesus fuck. What the hell? Oh, I clicked something. That's good. That's my I'm using that as background music. Oh, well, while I'm here, and while I have many new viewers here, go ahead and hit the link in the description. It's about if you're on the phone, it's about 3 fingers that way. There's a link in the description, like Ko-Fi link, Coffee link, whatever. And over here, about 3 mice tails that way, you can hit if you're on the desktop also, you can hit the Rumble Ramp button. It looks like a $sign. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, Big B Trucker measured out his trailer. Thanks. in elephants. Thanks, Cat. Cat. By the way, congratulations. 5 months old. That's cute. 0.00014 of 157 elephants. Oh, Renee, thank you. That's the real question, Renee. Are we talking about African elephants, the African bush elephants, or are we talking about the Asian elephant? That's a big difference. You know, I think we're talking about the Asian elephant because they're talking about Himalayan pink salt. So there's that. What the fuck? We're just gonna start measuring shit out like that now. Alright, let's stop fucking around. So yeah, please donate if you enjoy my content and me talking shit on Business Insider and their horrible fucking math. Ooh, excuse me.
Outside, they search for blocks with the best shape and coloring to send to manufacturers. Once picked, the blocks are loaded up on trucks either by hand or crane and sent across Pakistan. Historically, Pakistan couldn't process this raw pink salt, so much of it was exported to India cheaply. India would treat the salt, label it as made in India, and sell it at a premium. Pakistan saw little of the profits. NPR reported that a ton of salt sold to India for $40 could fetch $300 in Europe. In 2019, a social media campaign calling for the end of salt exports to India went viral. That same year, the Pakistani government banned all salt exports to India. The goal? Returning the profits to Pakistan.
23% जो रॉक सॉल्ट की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग थी या जो प्रोडक्शन थी जो पाकिस्तान की
Big B, stop doing the math. We're moving on.
रॉ फॉर्म में जो कि फिर वो री एक्सपोर्ट होती थी ओवरसीज में सेम मार्केट में जहां हम ऑलरेडी अभी एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं राइट नाउ गवर्नमेंट का डिसीजन ये बहुत फायदेमंद है हमारे लिए.
But some Pakistani salt exporters suffered. They didn't speak English and couldn't meet Europe's tough import standards. Only about a dozen exporters saw an opportunity to sell products under Pakistani labels directly to Europe. Mohammed was one of them. Every month he purchases 300 tons of salt from the mine for his company Himalayan Decor International.
ख्योरा माइन से तकरीबन सॉल्ट लोड होता है ट्रकों में और मुख्तलिफ ट्रकों में लोड होकर बारास्ता मोटरवे हमारी फैक्ट्री लाहौर काना डिफेंस रोड पे आता है जिसका सफ़र 350 किलोमीटर बनता है.
His artists turn these blocks into more than 200 different products.
Oh shit, look at that stuff.
Natural
that looks really cool.
इसके साथ साथ geometrical shapes हैं, animal link salt है, eating cooking plates हैं, इसके साथ साथ walls की जो सी tiles
that stuff's kind of cool looking.
बना रहे हैं, इसके साथ हम लोग eating salt के अंदर काम कर रहे हैं काफी सारा.
Most of the work is done by hand, but drills and saws have sped up the process in recent years.
उसके बाद उसकी क्वालिटी को चेक किया जाता है, चेक करने के बाद वॉशिंग होती है.
I hope these people are drinking plenty of water.
उसके अंदर वुडन बेस इंस्टॉल करके उसको पैकिंग के मराहिल में लेके आया जाता है. हमारे पास तकरीबन महीने के अंदर 10 से 15,000 सॉल्ट की प्रोडक्शन है.
Over in Karachi, RM Salt Pakistan grinds up blocks into table salt.
Basically ये इसका रॉ मटेरियल है जो कि डिफरेंट साइजेस में आप देख सकते हैं. यहाँ पर कुछ रेंजेस हैं 2 to 3 kg, 3 to 5 kg और ये हमारी लार्ज साइड पे आ जाता है जैसे 9 to 12 हो गया और 12 to 15 kg हो गया. ये रेंजेस में होते हैं बेसिकली.
Blocks are fed into the grinder and broken down into smaller grains. Workers bag and weigh 1,000 of these pouches of pink salt every hour. Like Mohammed's factory, RM Salt also makes lamps and other specialty products.
After the raw material we get, we convert it with a different shape as per our order. Like you can see in the cutting machine, he is cutting different sizes.
On this saw, water prevents dust from flying up, but on the grinders it's not possible, which is why Mohammed's staff wore masks even before the pandemic. Over at RM Salt,
as you can see this facility, we have installed a vacuum through which we can absorb the dust. This is the order of USA, one of our client. We are making these goods for them, the moon shape and the heart shape as well. Double drill के बाद हम लोग इसको washing process से गुजारते हैं, क्योंकि इसमें हमें manually काम करना पड़ता है, उसकी वजह है कि इसके sizes जो है वो different होते हैं.
The lamps are then coated with a gel to prevent humidity from interacting with the salt, and then they're shrink wrapped. RM Salt ships 30 containers of products every month. Muhammad exports about 80% of his products, primarily to Western countries like the US, UK, and Spain, where demand has spiked in the last decade because of the alleged health benefits.
यहाँ पर 3 कलर का नमक है, वाइट है, रेड है और पिंक. इसके अंदर वाइट के अंदर है सोडियम क्लोराइड, पिंक के अंदर मैग्नीशियम है और रेड में आयरन शामिल है.
98% तो ये सोडियम क्लोराइड ही है, NaCl ही है, जो कि नॉर्मली सी सॉल्ट भी है. लेकिन इसके एडिशनली जो बेनिफिट्स हैं वो 84 मिनरल्स जिसमें होते हैं, जैसे कि कैल्शियम है, मैग्नीशियम है, पोटेशियम है.
However, it's such a very small percentage of the salt that makes up these minerals that you are highly unlikely to get any real benefit or any trace of them in your regular serving of salt itself. But nutritionally, it's pretty much similar to regular salt.
It's also pretty similar tasting to sea salt. But others claim Himalayan salt has healing powers, whether inhaled, used in spa treatments, or in lamp form.
There's a lot of different homeopathic remedies that can seem very, very appealing, but actually they're not grounded in evidence.
Homeopathic, I just want to, many of you are just as smart as me, if not smarter. Homeopathic means jack fucking shit. Anytime I hear that, I feel like I have to tell everybody around me, homeopathic medicine is shit. It doesn't mean shit. It's not going to do shit. It will never do shit. You're better off, you're better off just taking something completely different. Fucking take radium. take fucking radioactive medicine instead of homeopathic medicine. You will unironically you will be better off. Homeopathy is psychopathy.
Price up.
Anyway.
Himalayan salt can cost up to 20 times the price of normal table salt.
Normally जो price start होती है pink salt pouch की, वो normally एक manufacturer से वो 60 cents से शुरू होती है, और मैं 1 kg बैग की बात कर रहा हूँ जो कि सेल होता है रिटेल मार्केट्स में अराउंड $9 होता है.
But that money doesn't always make it back to the miners. They take home less than 1,500 rupees a day, not much more than the cost of this bag of Himalayan sea salt at Walmart. And those salaries have stayed the same, even though Pakistan has severed its salty relationship with India, and the pink salt is seeing growing demand abroad.
Their salty relationship. Oh, Jesus, this fucking bitch.
मेरा नहीं ख्याल कि इसकी खरीदो फरोख्त में कहीं पे कोई कमी आई है, क्यों कि लोग इसको बेशुमार इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं और दिन ब दिन इसकी फरोख्त बढ़ रही है.
Luckily, the mountain won't run out of salt anytime soon. It's estimated only about 220 million tons of salt have been excavated here, nothing compared to the nearly 6.7 billion tons left. Every year, more than 1 billion flowers come into the US for Valentine's Day. Most come from massive farms in Colombia. But these roses have as little as 48 hours to get cut and flown to Miami before they wilt.
They have a short lifetime and thus require the most rapid form of transportation, and that is by air.
It takes a vast network of farmers, air cargo, coolers, and customs officers working 24/7.
Leading up to Valentine's Day, the amount of flowers coming to the airport double and triple.
Treating these flowers right is even a matter of protecting the U.S.
The danger of an exotic pest to establish in the United States, our food supply is affected.
From greenhouse to gift, we follow the journey of your Valentine's Day bouquet. 70% of cut flowers imported to the U.S. come from Colombia, from farms like this one. With over 2,800 acres, Elite Flower is the largest privately owned farm in the country. The temperate climate, high altitude, and 12 hours of sunlight create the perfect growing conditions for these blooms.
Producimos alrededor de 800 millones de tallos al año, de los cuales 400 millones la mitad son rosas.
That would fill up 414 Boeing 767s. And even within roses, there are 100 varieties. Out in the greenhouse, socially distanced workers inspect each flower from petal to stem for rot or bugs.
proceso lo que hacemos es seleccionar la flor
Everyone's staring
por
at
sus
tits.
colores, por el tamaño de cabeza. Se hace una selección para
there's
que
that
haya una
gap.
consistencia en el armado. Se arma el ramo.
Using shears, workers cut each flower off one by one.
Lo que pasa en el metabolismo de la flor es apenas tú la cortas, la flor empieza un proceso de mortalidad.
To slow that decay, the flowers are sent to a cold room for a minimum of 12 hours. This begins what's known as the cold chain.
El éxito es mantener la cadena de frío lo más constante posible, alrededor de los 38 grados Fahrenheit.
Extra leaves and thorns are stripped off the stem using this tool. Workers wear thick gloves to guard themselves from thorns. The wheat flower is buzzing year-round, but it gets especially busy in February. In the weeks leading up to Valentine's Day, the company adds an extra 4,000 employees and generates 90% of its profits. Elite partners with UPS to fly these flowers to the U.S. Each plane can hold up to 1 million flowers, but airlines like Avianca or LATAM are also big flower movers.
89% of all flowers entering the United States by air came through Miami International Airport. That's business. That's money.
After a 4-hour journey, this temperature-controlled LATAM Airlines flight landed in Miami.
This airplane arrived with more than 50 tons of flour from Colombia. And then we start to move one of the 23 pallets that we have here to this machine to downloading the flowers.
The flowers end up in this cold warehouse, held at the same temperature as that airplane.
The most important thing for us is to maintain the cool change.
There are almost 400,000 square feet of cooling facilities at Miami Airport.
That were built because of the flower industry. Flowers represent our largest commodity coming in.
Next, Customs and Border Protection checks flowers from every flight.
Over 84,000 units for inspection here.
Agricultural specialists like Stanley pull just 2% of the flowers from each flight to inspect.
We have a sampling protocol. We know for sure that 2% is representing the 100% of the flowers that are coming in.
Inspections are done quickly, so the flowers don't wilt or get handled too much.
We make sure that our inspection area is cooler, the temperature is good for the flowers and for our personnel.
One by one, officers open up boxes and remove the bundles, wearing PPE to protect against diseases and pesticides.
They take a bouquet of flowers and they remove the plastic and then they shake it.
Mommy Milf's back, so we're gonna stop talking about her.
Gently. They have to get a white background, and if anything falls, they'll have to observe if there is any insects, but at the same time they are doing the visual observation to see whether the leaves have any kind of signs of diseases.
Like a bacterial or fungal disease.
If there's a fungal inspection, you see some rusty patches. She has seen a sign of maybe a disease. Now she has to use a loupe to magnify.
Even more important to look out for, bugs. Leaf miners, caterpillars, fruit flies, and beetles. Critters that may seem harmless, but if they got through, they could wreak havoc on the U.S. agricultural system.
Every year, the United States spends billions of dollars in eradication programs in order to eradicate those pests.
From 2007 to 2014, Florida's orange and grapefruit growers lost $2.9 billion trying to eradicate the Asian citrus psyllid. So if an officer finds something,
we kind of collect it in a vial with alcohol for preservation. That specimen goes to USDA, Department of Agriculture, for identification.
And for the flowers?
The importer has basically 3 choices. One is to return to origin, 2 is to fumigate, or 3rd is to destroy.
Destruction is the last resort. Treatment is most often fumigation. In an average day, we find around 50 to 60 different pests.
Some flowers, like the eucalyptus, are high risk for carrying hitchhikers, while roses are less risky.
After the fumigation takes place, then the rest of the shipment can go to the public.
CBP inspects flowers every day, but on Valentine's,
last season we inspected over 700 million stems of flowers.
If CBP officers don't find anything, they bring the flowers back to that cold chain warehouse.
And when the customer arrives here, we take the flowers and go to the delivery area to load the flower directly to the truck.
The majority of these flowers are trucked to the northeast or west coast of the U.S., where folks like you and me can treat our loved ones to a colorful bouquet for Valentine's Day. The shea butter market is booming. While industrially made beauty butters have played an essential role in the industry's growth, women making it the traditional way fear their craft is dying out.
We don't have anything to do. That's why we are doing the shea butter.
International customers often buy larger quantities from companies that can produce it faster, making it harder for traditional farmers. But the biggest threat is right in their backyard. For the past 4 decades, men have been cutting down the very tree that provides livelihood to many families. We traveled to Ghana to find out how, despite the challenges, this group of women artisans is still standing.
Oh, we're gonna do
The day starts
I Am Woman,
with a
Hear Me
2-hour
Roar
trek to the forest for many women
segment.
in the town of
We're gonna do
Yedu.
that segment.
The journey can be dangerous. They have to travel in groups to avoid armed robbers lurking in the forest. And they risk getting bitten by snakes when walking through the grass.
If you are only 1 or 2 women that goes into the bush to pick, it's likely that you won't come back.
The shea tree grows along a dry savanna belt that stretches from east to West Africa. Only the ripe shea nuts that have fallen from the tree are ready. The return home can also be physically taxing. The women carry more than 25 kilograms of seeds on their heads. They first wash the seeds and let them dry for a week. Then it's time for cracking. The nuts are ready when the kernel starts to rattle against the shell. Only the good ones are made into butter. The bad nuts are used to make a special food called kanwu, and as a fertilizer on their farms. This attention to detail sets traditional shea butter apart from commercially made ones.
With the machinery, you pour everything in the machine. So if there's bad one, you will not be able to identify it.
Portia Asumda has led an organization called Titiaka Boresa for the last 3 years. The group provides cooking pots and training for shea farmers in the Talensi district. It also teaches them how to pick the best quality nuts for their product. They crack the nuts into smaller pieces with a brick. Then roast them over an open fire until they become fragrant. This helps release the oils that give shea butter its nutty taste and smell.
I don't know. Are the nuts and seeds the same thing?
It's one of the skills Acuña Alejere is teaching her daughter. She's been making shea butter for more than half her life. She grinds the shea nut pieces by hand. Some shea farmers have invested in grinding mills to make this step easier. But Acuña takes pride in sticking to the techniques that date back to the 14th century. The divots in these rocks provide the perfect working space. The women only produce small batches at a time to ensure the quality will be consistent.
Kill it, Dustin. Good point. Okay, yeah, that's not a hard job. I've watched monkeys crack nuts on rocks all day too. You ain't special.
It's all hands on deck when it comes to mixing the shea paste. The work can be grueling and takes a lot of strength. They do this for 1 hour to get the right consistency. The water activates the butter. Slowly, it separates and floats to the top. Acuña melts the butter in another fire, using wood that was harvested in the forest. She waits until it turns a deep chocolate color.
What's the chocolate? That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. Holy
The
shit!
shea oil
Did
will
someone
cool
take a
and
machete
be
to her
sold as
face?
unrefined butter. The first accounts of shea butter use
see
date
that?
back to 14th century Burkina
Holy
Faso.
shit!
It's been used in West African
She had
households
a
as a cooking
giant
fat
fucking
and as a
scar
moisturizing
right
salve
across
for
her. Like,
skin.
what was she fucking?
Legend has it that even the Egyptian queen Cleopatra appreciated the
God,
butter
what was
for its
his name?
hydrating power. In recent decades, global demand
Tywin?
for shea butter has increased dramatically. Its healing properties and high levels of vitamins have
What's
made
his
it the
name from
ultimate
Game of
ingredient
Thrones?
for skincare products across the world. In the last 20 years alone,
Probably
annual
deserved it.
exports have increased 600%.
Yeah, fucking
But with new
bitch.
demand have come new challenges. Deforestation, competition from bigger companies, and a global pandemic have threatened the livelihoods of small-scale shea farmers.
We used to get supplies from other countries like Canada, US, UK.
Canada.
But when COVID-19 came, we never had orders again.
Faster, machine-run shea processing plants in Ghana have also begun taking over the market, making it difficult for this group of women to keep up.
Straightened
It takes
her
them an
ass
entire
right out,
month
didn't
to
they?
produce what a big factory can do in 3 days. Deforestation is also an ongoing battle. Since the 1990s, men have been cutting down shea nut trees to make charcoal for commercial use. Around 8 million trees are cut each year.
The quantity we used to get, now we don't get it that way again. It has reduced drastically.
Shea butter making has sustained generations of women in Ghana. Today, many depend on it as their only source of income.
They should start an
Mostly in
OnlyFans.
this group, most of them are widows. They used to say widows, they can't do anything for their own. But now that they have their own handwork, they are able to do something and earn money and take home.
Organizations like Portia's teach traditional shea farmers how to produce better quality butter and understand its value in the local market. With this knowledge, they can take home a higher profit from their sales. The organization is also working to combat deforestation. Over the last 2 years, it's planted 7,000 shea trees in hopes of repopulating the parklands. Although there are many challenges, Portia sees a bright future ahead.
That is our business. That is what we do. Even though it is hard to produce it, but that is where we get our money from. That is where we get our income.
Young women are still interested in learning the craft, and she hopes that expanding her business will give more opportunities to people looking to learn the skill in its traditional form.
That is what we do.
We like to have our own plantations. We like to have our own warehouses where we can keep our shea nuts there.
For women here, shea butter is a symbol of prosperity and independence. And they're determined to pass it on to the younger generation.
Hear me roar. I am woman.
Americans spend billions of dollars each year making their teeth a little whiter.
Oh, I should
in Beverly
probably
Hills,
invest in some of
California,
this.
one whitening treatment can set you back $750.
Yep. It's worth it though.
I am obsessed with having my teeth be pearly white, and about 8 years ago I tried those drugstore whitening strips, and I think they did a really good job whitening my teeth. The only cons were that it took about 2 weeks, they stung my gums a bit, and they left my teeth feeling very sensitive a few weeks after. I've never tried any professional whitening service, but I know a lot of dentists use this service called Zoom Teeth Whitening, and it's supposed to be an hour-long service that gives you instant white teeth. So today,
Sit back to the last segment. You hear that? They like to be on the plantation. See? You son of a bitch. That's funny as fuck.
They were in Beverly Hills visiting dentist Kevin Sands, and he...
Hey, where were the extra 20 or so people earlier when I did the ad read? Where were you? Hey, if you're coming in now and you think I'm worth it, go ahead and hit the link in the description, the coffee link. Hey, I said it right the first time. Go ahead and donate. It will directly go into my 3D printing fund. I use all of the money that I gather here doing this to get new colors of filament, new rolls, so that I don't have to do horrible paint jobs like I did with nah, Princess Leia was pretty good. But if you don't like the Ko-fi, it's all right. You don't want to sign up on another site, go ahead and hit the Rumble rant. Any amount is really good. I appreciate that. Hit the thumb club. Do all that good stuff. Help me out. Anyway, back to the content.
He's worked on countless Hollywood smiles, and today he's working on mine. So let's see if Zoom is worth it. Right when you walk in, you see the office decorated with magazine covers of the many celebrities Sands has worked on.
That happens every time.
First, like any medical office,
just
I had
kinda
to sign
get used to
important
it.
paperwork. Then I met with Sands to hear all about the treatment.
So what we're going to do is we're going to apply a layer of the bleach to your teeth. The Zoom is a UVA UVB light that activates the product and whitens the enamel of your teeth.
How is this different from like regular whitening strips?
Well, first of all, regular whitening strips, you know, they
Clear
do
your
work,
throat.
but they don't have as much of the active ingredient to to really whiten your teeth the way people
Hey,
want
Doc.
them.
That
Doctor,
active
clear your
ingredient
throat.
is hydrogen peroxide, which is about 25% of Zoom's whitening product. After some research online, I found that common drugstore whitening strips, for example, Crest White strips, have hydrogen peroxide levels ranging from about 6 to 14%. How many shades wider can you get someone's teeth with Zoom?
Okay, well, depending on each individual, you can get 1 shade lighter up to 5 to 10 shades lighter. It just depends how much enamel you have, your lifestyle. People that drink a lot of coffee and red wine aren't going to get as good of a result. And also patients that don't have a lot of enamel don't get the best results either.
At Sands' office, he offers the service for $750. However, he mentioned it doesn't work on veneers, crowns, or decaying teeth.
Hey guys, now, all of you new subscribers in here, you should donate $750 for my teeth. Otherwise, whatever could happen could be on you. All right, it could be on you there in chat, and I'm gonna blame you for it, and I'm gonna write. Working in a Brian reference, huh? Working a Brian Shapiro reference. We got a couple minutes to our ROTC. Hang around. We will raid. So please, pretty please, hang around.
The results usually last about 6 months, but that all depends on your lifestyle and cleaning regimen. Once I knew what I was getting myself into, Sands brought in his assistant Megan to perform the treatment. First, we examined my teeth to find the best shade.
No, you're definitely not there. And you're not there. You have really nice shade going on now, so you're already in the bleaching category. I would put you about
really
a BL3
hate
or a BL4.
her fucking voice.
So you're already in the category of being really light. So hopefully we can get you to somewhere around here.
I'm like here.
Yes. We wear these glasses. These protect your eyes from the UV light that we're going to use.
Sorry.
We're going to apply some vitamin E oil to your lips. All the Zoom kits come with this. It's just a nice way so that your lips don't get dehydrated during the treatment. The next thing I'm going to do is put this retractor. It's going to expand.
She also
it looks a
does
little
sometimes
intense, but
has
it's
an
not
upward
really.
inflection.
So I'm gonna open as wide as you can. So it's also important we keep everything really dry. So I'm going to insert some cotton here. And then we're going to apply this towel. It just protects your skin.
Oh, hold up. We got
This
one.
is a protect.
Keely Dotson for 5. It's not on the coffee website, sorry, but here you go, mate. That's perfectly fine. That's okay. You don't have to sign up for a new, you don't have to sign up for a new site if you don't want to. You're already signed up here. That's fine. That's really cool. For everybody's doing the up talking. Yes, queen. Uh-oh, we got another one. Eat steak. Susie for 5 says, give Spoopy Toots money or you're a faggot. Susie Q. Oh, I did it wrong again. I had the double audio. You guys did this to me. All right.
Active ingredient that we're going to put on your
It whitens your teeth and buttholes so
we'll
good. And we'll make sure it touches your gums so it'll be really fucked
Now we're going to apply the
up.
actual bleaching solution. So it's 25% hydrogen peroxide, okay? So it's really strong. So
Okay,
you want to make sure you don't
okay.
put your fingers up near your teeth while this is going on. It feels really relaxing.
I don't know, it felt right. It's so relaxing to with shit in my mouth like that. Miami Mill for 5. Well, shit, I'm no faggot. Hey, look at that. And Milf, you're gonna share this one with FOMO.
Imagine advocating to make the government bigger. That's the biggest loser energy ever.
You're gonna share that one with FOMO.
I don't feel the LED light.
I love it when girls make this noise. Love that noise. Oh my god.
The solution is removed after about 15 minutes. For my teeth, we did a second round of whitening. Some teeth require 3 or 4 rounds for best results.
I feel a little more sensitive. A little tingly on the lower front teeth, or where are you? That's the most common area to start to get sensitive. And it's just because the teeth are dehydrated.
Yeah.
Once
you
those
just
15
gotta,
minutes were up,
you
my
gotta
teeth
do
had to be
that,
cleaned
like,
before I could see the
fucking-
results.
You know what you gotta do? You gotta just like that. Gotta do the hot tour.
You don't see like the little yellows that I used to have around like the rims of the teeth, like the gum.
You got a beautiful result.
Yay! I love it. Wow, so what were my teeth like before?
So before we started, you were in this shade range.
Kev the Mev. Gluck, gluck, gluck. Sounds like my ex-wife. Hey-oh. Hey-oh. Everybody's doing it. I can love you guys.
BL4. It's a nice shade, but we
Thanks for
definitely
coming in, Captain
increased
Meb.
your shade dramatically.
Thank you again for the $10.
To a BL1, which is the lightest shade possible. And you just want to, avoid dark-colored foods and liquids for 24 hours.
You just
And after that, back to normal.
hours. I hate that bitch.
I've had my pearly white teeth for a few weeks now and I've been enjoying them. But here's the thing, in real life, I can see the difference and I've had a lot of people compliment on my teeth. But when I look at the before and after pictures, it's a little hard for me to tell. I think it's because I started with pretty white teeth already. But the major change
FOMO,
I see
think
is
we've
whitening around.
I think we've pretty well established, FOMO, that you are not a faggot. But if you want to send me anything, go ahead and take a few pics. DMs are open.
The edges of my teeth, that's the areas I should be flossing more. Overall, if you have stained teeth, probably
Cheers.
a little bit more yellowish than what I had, and you have 0 time to wait and you want instant white teeth in under an hour, then I think it's worth trying Zoom and seeing how the results last. For me, I realized that it's probably smarter to stick with the more affordable drugstore options, even if it takes some time and I might feel some sensitivity a few weeks after, but I think I'll see similar results while saving myself some cash.
This machine is extracting the slime from snails in the name of beauty.
Fucking what?
It will end up in skincare products around the world to repair and moisturize the skin. Historically, the way to get snail mucin was by killing them. But new machines like this one stimulate the snails instead.
Fucking what?
Companies around the world have adopted the technology. Here in Italy, snail farming has reportedly increased by more than 300% over the past 2 decades. Just in time for an almost $4 billion snail beauty market to take off.
E la
Fucking what?
richiesta del prodotto è incredibile.
Advocates often claim their products can improve wrinkles and texture. But can snail slime really do all that? And how has it become such a big business?
Susie hold on, this is a real. Susie uses snail mucin moisturizer in the summer. They're over there stimulating snails. Yeah, kill it. What? I mean, why not just, Susie, just do the gluck gluck, and Mr. Steak will paint your face for free. Shout out to Mr. Steak. Get it, bruh. Oh shit. I mean, it's you like protein, right? They give you that protein.
Simone Sampo always knew he wanted to be a snail expert.
Bambini tradizionali giocavano a pallone, giocavano degli sport. Il mio hobby era proprio quello di andare a raccogliere questo mollusco. Da qua a 20 anni lascio economia e commercio per dedicarmi alla professione di
I'm just hey. Hey. I'm just goofing. I'm just new boot goofing. New bonk goofing. New goofing bonk. New bonka bonka. I need a bonk.
At the International Institute of Heliciculture in the northern Italian town of Carrasco since 2016.
L'Italia è un paese favorevole alla crescita di questo mollusco.
Through the Institute, Simone helped develop methods that create ideal conditions to grow and harvest snails. And they haven't exactly been moving at a snail's pace.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
They've seen a huge increase in demand.
Frozen's gonna join in on my Discord just to exit on that one. They haven't been moving at a snail's pace.
Opt for
what is known as clean beauty, kind of more organic, plant-derived, animal-derived products.
It all starts in rooms like this one.
In questo modo, quando c'è questo gonfiore, è perché questa è una chiocciola piena di uova, quindi
The eggs hatch after about 2 weeks.
Oops.
And then go to an incubation room. The Institute sells the baby snails to farmers who raise them outdoors, using methods developed by the Institute.
Damn it. This is taking forever.
Simona Basile is one of them. She started out in 2019 with about 33,000 snails.
Io comincio a bagnare alle 6. Ho visto che la vegetazione non viene tanto rovinata, quindi bagnando dalle 6 fino alle 8
Blue her
loro
eyes were? Holy
si svegliano
shit.
e poi gli metto da mangiare.
Simona Basile is one of them. She started out in 2019 with about 33,000 snails.
Hey, thanks for coming by, Jameson. Oh, Jameson, go ahead and head on over to the ROTC chat. Have them on in the background. No problem. Thanks for coming by, man. I really like it when you come by, and thanks for the 5 you gave earlier. That was really cool. Yeah, everybody say bye to Jameson and check out. Thank you, Susie. Check out this woman's
Io comincio a
eyes.
bagnare alle 6. Ho visto che la vegetazione non
Holy shit.
viene
Those are fucking
tanto rovinata.
vibrant. Blue eyes, they just do it for me. I don't know what. Wow. I mean, she's not even like incredibly good looking. It's just holy shit, those eyes.
Quindi bagnando dalle 6 fino alle 8.
Immediately
loro
caught my eye. I was just like, oh my god, she just was just amazing looking. All right, I think we'll I think we're gonna end that one there. Hey, thanks everybody for donating. Jameson, Catababo, Killa Dodson, Susie, Miami MILF, Kev the Mev. Thank you all for donating. That was really nice of you. I already did the campaign. Okay. Everybody stick around for a minute. I'm going to grab the link to ROTC, and when we get over there, I want everybody to do the New Boot Goofin GIF, that one that I put in chat. I want you all to do that one as soon as we raid in there. All right, where's the link? Copy. And of course, it never works first time. It will never work the first time for me. It works the first time for Pessy. Never gonna work the first time for me. Never works first time for JJ. All right, there we go. Everybody go over there. Yeah, we'll do escargot cummies another time. New boot goof. New boot goofing. We're gonna goof. Again, thank you all for coming by. I appreciate you all. I got the most donations today. That was kind of cool. Yeah, the Pessy magic works. It works on the raids too. All right, get on out of here. Go. I'm gonna cash out. Thank you all again for the donations. If you're still here and you're still listening, you shouldn't be here. You should be going. You should all go. Thank you for coming by, Renee. Thank you, Big B Trucker.
He's bound and down, loaded up and trucking.
Thank you, FOMO.
Imagine advocating to make the government bigger. Like that's the biggest loser energy ever.
Thank you, Susie. And Cookie, I know you listen, Cookie. Oh, did that not work?
Cookie?
There it is.
Cookie? Cookie?